Okay, and I'm back. We're gonna go and
Set.
take out
You need to make
General
your way through the
Vasquez.
ruins, reach the position, and eliminate the target. Do not get compromised or the target will escape.
We're gonna go over
Compromise
here.
equals failure.
Proceeding.
I cannot. Maybe I can. I jump up, right? Little mountain climbing. Nah. Hey, I like they even bothered to model most of that shit back there. Like, you know, pretend there's actually a path that I came from. Most games don't even bother with that. Alright, off I go. Alright. Into the Temple of Doom. Yeah, I imagine these were fairly expensive, all things considered. Oh, nice. Looks like that motherfucker from Zuma. Seen a fair few PopCap games that look like this. I don't know what it was with them using, like, you know, old Aztec temples, but hey, I'm not complaining. Shit. Try it again. This kind of thing too, like, you know, okay, past this line, that's where more enemies are going to be showing. Oh, fuck. Past this line, that's where more enemies are going to be showing up. Get the fucking quick load, quick save button next. I gotta get this shit right. Oh yeah. Old classic 2010 stealth games. Consequences for failure are pretty simple. You, game over. So don't get caught. Sprint up one. Got more bogeys. Quick save there. Alrighty. Really going into uncharted territory here, huh? Pun slightly intended, though Uncharted sucks dick, so... Nah, fam. Gears of War was better. Bye-bye. Hear footsteps. Let's go to that. Alright. Gotta focus in, it's gaming time. Alright. Oh yeah. So far so good. The big blurry rocks. I guess we're in the right place. This is a huge fucking temple.
Position. Targets in sight. We have
Excellent.
Green light's yours. Terminate.
Headshot. Dink.
Kill confirmed.
that's the end, apparently. Alright. Well, it's not going to specify how we got out of there, I guess, but maybe they saved that for the sequel. Awesome. There we go. Well, gotta say, that was pretty fun. I like this credit sequence. Marson Sus. Oh. I think the music died on me there. Yep, there goes the music. Okay. Anyway. Well, yeah. That was a pretty fun game. The sniping and the jungles, I think, overall were a huge highlight. And I really loved how, dense and vibrant these environments were. They're just very pretty. They might not have the highest fidelity, like resolution and textures and all that, but they didn't really need it. Like, it just looked like a solid, good, well-polished, all-around game. And I really liked how much wildlife there was, how, characters bantered back and forth. They played it fairly seriously, but I liked how the characters and the world felt very alive, like guards having conversations, you're sneaking into bases, trying to take out targets and shit. It's pretty awesome. It was a fun stealth game. It was also pretty challenging, too, because, I got fucking spotted like 17 times, but also, I was fucking dumb, so... Yeah, I've got to hand it. That's, pretty shitty accuracy, but hey. Didn't really need much accuracy to get effective kills, but yeah, that's Sniper Ghost Warrior. And that was actually really fun. Now, thankfully, it's not just Sniper Ghost Warrior, because I've also got some of the unfinished business and challenges, so I'm gonna mess around with some of them in the next part, but thank you for watching. This has been actually really fun to make, so overall I think this was a really good experience. I think they clearly have bumped up their level of production value, especially compared to their other games, and it really shows throughout this one and Alien Rage especially. This one and Alien Rage are probably my favorites, and it took me a while to remember why I like Sniper Ghost Warrior so much, but yeah, it was really the first time I was I vaguely remembered seeing this at a friend's house, and that's kind of the problem with the namings of these, is they make it hard for anyone to really remember, because their names are just kind of so generic. But the thing that impressed me most about this was that how it ran on consoles and looked so good while doing so. Like, nobody had really been messing with graphics too much and making it affordable, to this day, I still think this game just looks pretty. It's very pretty. The textures might not be all there entirely, but they still looked really good. Like, for the most part, the animations may be a little janky, but it's just a good, solid, all-around, good game that's fairly short, but filled with a bunch of fun shooting, explosions, and killing bad guys in the jungle, sniping with your buddies, and going sneaking through forts. It's like the whole Call of Duty bit where you're sneaking through camps and shit, but it's a little more like that mixed with a kind of milsim tactical games where they had way more recoil and a lot of things like the wind and other things you had to account for, like bullet drop and and that's cool. I really like that. I like how they tried to kind of compete with Call of Duty by doing a lot of things it didn't do. Kind of making it so you consistently went stealthy as opposed to just always kind of going loud, which is usually the fault of a lot of Call of Duty stealth sections and a lot of their set pieces is you tend to go loud way too quickly. But you know, it was a good change of pace to actually have a game that was properly like stealthy the whole time. Like, you know, it's the kind of thing I wanted from Call of Duty Ghosts in the trailers, and I didn't get in Ghosts. Like Ghosts, it was the few stealth sections they had were really fucking good, but they just didn't consistently keep it stealthy like this. And you want a game that basically is like the best parts of fucking Black Ops 2 in the flashback sections and then Call of Duty Ghosts, I can definitely give this a thumbs up. It's not exactly hard to get your hands on. I mean, seeing how most of these games are either dirt cheap on Steam or really easy to fucking borrow from your matey Jack Sparrow, if you get my drift. It's a fun time. It's also probably going to run well on a lot of old computers, so I mean, if you have an old shitty computer, this will probably work really well on it. Because that's the benefit of the Xbox 360, was the Xbox 360 and like really early Xbox One games from like, I want to say up until about 2013 to 2017, maybe 2018, were actually somewhat optimized to run on, you know, lower end computers, because they knew not everybody and their dog has a NASA computer. Like, you know, contrary to what the companies now want you to fucking believe and just sweep games like this under the rug. You know, they want you to believe that you really need all of this high tech shit to sell you on all this new stuff, Windows 11, all this. It's a load of horse shit. It's a fucking load of horse shit. They do this, you know, the same scam every fucking time, but now it's a little more fucking blatant, a little more screwy, like a lot more blatant and a lot more scummy. Because they made a lot of the shit in Windows 10 to die, and a lot of the shit in Windows 8 to die as well, but the thing with Windows 8 was it was easier to ignore, and Windows 10 not so much, because of simply how long they supported that shit for, like how many updates it got. Like, there are so many versions of Windows 10 and all of that shit that it's basically like you have an entire generation of literally people who grew up and know that like they do the back of their hand with Windows 7 for a lot of other people, or the Xbox 360 in my case. I grew up with the Xbox 360, and I know it like the back of my hand. I know Plants vs. Zombies like the back of my fucking hand. I could easily predict that shit, even though I hadn't played it in like 10 fucking years. I do a Let's Play of it, and I know it like the back of my fucking hand. It's great. It's a comfortable, you know, kind of familiarity. But that's the thing with Windows 10, was it was always just a predictable discomfort. Like, you always get the feeling that you should not be using it and you should be using something better, but you don't have an option because they've taken that away from you. Just the core underlying system feels like a threat, and that's because it is, because they made it to try and coerce little toddlers and school-age children into believing that they were at all going to succeed with Windows in any capacity when Microsoft refused to support it. In any capacity that, you know, would really enhance their growth. No, they wanted to limit their growth and train them to be fucking killers. Killers and people with horrible temper tantrums. You usually see them on Twitter, and they usually tend to play anime games. But that's the thing with me and anime, right? The reason why I've switched over to so many games like these is, you know, every single time I try to have a friend and they get into anime, it always tends to go wrong. Not because anime is something that I fucking hate, or at least I didn't at first, but, you know, it's like if you have multiple friends who die after getting into this cool new thing they found, you're probably not going to enjoy it as much as you probably would something else that you actually have positive memories and, you know, connections with. Like, say, a game where you shoot people, right? Well, if I, you know, it's the same thing with like going to fucking Chuck E. Cheese. Well, I'm probably not gonna like going to a Chuck E. Cheese if I had 3 friends of mine who all fucking died at a Chuck E. Cheese. Once, I could say, well, that's a tragic accident. It's kind of unfortunate. Twice, I'm really starting to question why the fuck I'm even going to this place. Third time, it's not even a fucking question. I'm just leaving. Because this place gives me the fucking creeps, you know? Anime does that same thing, so does Windows 11 and 10 without the optimizations and tweaks with like AMA. Same thing with Linux as well. Like, why the fuck would you want to use it when you could just use something like Windows 10 Ameliorated or Atlas OS or a custom operating system? Like, what the fuck are they gonna do? Tell you you can't use the thing that you purchased? Yeah, good luck with that, Microsoft. I'm sure you'd have a great time in a court of law trying to tell millions of people they can't fucking use their own computers. I mean, they don't exactly do that for Windows XP, 7, Vista 8, 95, ME, 2000, MS-DOS, or fucking any other kind of computer. I mean, Nintendo does, for sure. So does Apple, but... you know, most of those cases where they did that shit, they would either find nothing because they're fucking, you know, massive companies who play real life like a video game anyway, or, you know, either the people got so little in return and there were so many terms and conditions added to this quote-unquote freedom that it undermined the whole point entirely. Anyway, I've gone off on a giant fucking tangent, but the whole thing I'm getting at is, the reason why I like games like this so much is they remind me of not just better times, but they also show me great ways that I can improve my own work and how I can make my game and the things I do really good, because I think there are really good pieces of work in here. The grass, the foliage, the rain especially. And when I want to make weather and water particles in my fucking game, definitely gonna be taking notes from something like this, because this shit's just fucking cool. Gonna be taking notes from this kind of shit, looking at how a lot of those techniques were made, because the thing about it is these kinds of things run on basically nothing. You don't need a good computer to run this shit, so I think it's worth maybe adding some slightly better lighting to, cleaning up a little bit of the weird resolution issues, and then just making a game that looks and runs awesome, you know? So, anyway, that does it for here. And now, thanks for watching. I'm gonna do some DLC on this game later, or unfinished business, or whatever it is. I'll catch you in the next one. Three Spades out.